Hi, I'm Ernest Wilkins.
Hi, I'm Matt Pace.
And this is
Good or What?
the show where we talk about stuff and whether it sucks or not. Matt, what is our movie this week?
Ernest, we are talking Oblivion.
Okay, I watched this trailer. Let me just say, it looks awesome. Okay? Tom Cruise is like this groundskeeper meets cyber cop guy in this post-apocalyptic Earth, and he's got a big cool gun, and he's out here taking care of business where there's nothing else going on, and there's some chick who I thought was, Julianne Moore, but she's not, and
That's the big twist.
That's the big twist. Sorry, spoiler alert. And it looks cool. Morgan Freeman shows up, and it's just, he's apparently, everything is not what it seems. And I'm a big fan of that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of sci-fi movies like this. Matt, how is Oblivion?
Well, Ernest, I have to say, Groundskeeper versus Cybercop, one of my favorite movies on sci-fi. So good. As for Oblivion, I liked it better when it was called WALL-E.
Oh. Wait a second. Are you telling me that this movie, it just looked gorgeous, is basically a rehash of a Pixar movie?
Certainly it's not exactly the same, but as far as this future desolate Earth where one character is going to kind of clean up things and marvels at, oh, hey, one example of plant life. That's great. And look at all these old cultural relics. I mean, Wally was watching old movies. In Oblivion, Tom Cruise is listening to Led Zeppelin, which is always a good thing. Doesn't matter what year it is.
We love Led Zeppelin.
Of course. But this movie, I think part of the reason you responded to the trailer so much is it just looks kind of mind-blowing and new.
Yeah.
And it's not new at all. It will recall so many sci-fi classics as you're watching it that I don't want to give away because those would almost be spoilers in a movie that really tries to have a lot of surprises. But that takes away so much excitement because it doesn't feel unique no matter how beautiful the movie looks, and it does. I saw it in IMAX, and whew, it is huge.
Right. But I mean, with sci-fi movies like that, is there something necessarily wrong with like doing a movie as kind of an homage to these classic sci-fi films like you were talking about? Is that necessarily a bad thing?
It's not. I don't think this is really going for that type of thing. I mean, I guess you could say there's a thin line between something that's derivative and something that's an homage. Yeah. I think in this case, it's just kind of unintentional references that take away from the enjoyment. I mean, I was reminded of the work of Duncan Jones, who did Moon and Source Code. I think people will be much better served to catch up with those on Netflix than Oblivion.
Definitely watch Moon. It's great. Okay, so, Matt, good or what?
Ernest, unfortunately, Oblivion is or what? And it co-stars Olga Kurylenko, who is also in To the Wonder this week.
Yeah.
So how often do we say it's the week of Olga Kurylenko?
My count, it's been at least 3.5 years.
Yeah.
So what was wrong with To the Wonder? Just nothing much going on?
To the Wonder pretty much says, hey, have you ever noticed how guys are always like putting their hands in their pockets and like not communicating much, whereas women totally let emotions get the best of them and like to twirl around in fields like constantly?
I have noticed that, actually.
I mean, it's so obvious the differences between the genders here. But, I mean, this comes from Terrence Malick, who I think is one of the most overrated filmmakers ever. People think that The Tree of Life, Days of Heaven, even The Thin Red Line, they call them classics. I think he's way too enamored with making movies just kind of about feelings, but not really registering the characters at all.
Okay. So it's a lot of, as they say in Texas, all hat, no cattle.
That was exactly what I was about to say. Exactly. It's that he doesn't give his women any credit in this movie especially, which I thought was really poorly done. And you can have good actors. Here we have Kurylenko, Ben Affleck, Rachel McAdams, and they just don't have a lot to play with. There's something to be said, I guess, for having a lot to talk about after a movie, but I think the substance needs to be on the screen. It's not just like, well, we have no idea why this relationship went south. Let's discuss the possibilities afterwards, and then if we had a conversation with Terrence Malick, which would never happen because no one has seen or talked to him ever, he would be like, well, I don't know what happened. That's for you to decide.
That's a cop-out.
Yeah, that's not good enough for me.
Okay, so sounds like we got 2 or whats this week, man.
We do, Ernest.
Well, folks, guess we can't win them all. We'll get them next week. This has been Good or What. I'm Ernest Wilkins.
I'm Matt Pace.
See you next time.